Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the brand new Battlefield 2042 update, 8.6, adds a few modes, adds a fan favorite weapon back from Portal into the base game, the AN94, famous for its hyper burst. I'll be making a full video going over that weapon, but I'll discuss it briefly in this video. The modes they added are interesting. One is good and one is, you'll find out. So if you enjoy the content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and swing by the streams because I stream every single day. And if you plan on following the next Battlefield, this is the place to be. I'm going to cover things people will not cover about that game. We go in depth on this channel, okay? Let's get the modes out of the way first. If you're wondering what the actual changes were, I'll link the patch notes video for update 8.6 in the description. The first mode is Domination. Now, Domination is great. In fact, I think it's heavily underutilized in every Battlefield title. It's small, it's fast-paced, 16v16, which I think is an underutilized player count for Battlefield. It's just a nice break from Conquest and Breakthrough and other modes that you would play. It gives a different vibe, it gives a different feel. The maps you play in this Domination mode are kind of really bad, but it's Battlefield 2042, so I don't think we're surprised about that. You get to play on Breakaway, Erica Harbor, and I think there's one on Battle of the Bulge, and I forget the other one. The Domination layouts are okay. They're not great. I wasn't expecting anything utterly spectacular in terms of Domination game mode design, because this is obviously a limited time mode. But it just feels really hastily put together. And the thing that's the worst about this Domination mode is actually not even the map design, it's the spawns. And again, the spawns aren't like the worst thing ever, but they're pretty annoying because those of you that have played a bunch of Domination in other games and in Battlefield will know that good spawns is essential to the way Domination plays. It basically helps you understand where the enemies are spawning, where to look, where to rotate, how to position, everything. And the way this Domination mode plays right now, you're basically just getting shot in the side and the back randomly because the spawns are really weird and they don't make much sense. So while this isn't the best Domination mode I've ever played, it's definitely a nice break from the other modes in the game, and I will be playing it whenever I decide to jump on Battlefield 2042 on stream. Now, the other mode they added in this update during the event is this weird, like, 4 players versus a horde of AI mode. And I said in the video detailing update 8.6, I don't care about AI modes, and I stand by that. But I played it today, and I have to say, I just don't understand the attraction to this. I don't understand why they're trying to base an event around it. In my opinion, I hope I never see AI in the next Battlefield ever again. They should remove this functionality. I don't understand it. The only purpose this mode serves is it really just allows you to level up the new weapon in the event really, really quickly. Like, I got the AN94, and then I farmed all of the attachments in like 2 games playing this AI mode. Other than that, it's just playing Rush against a bunch of AI that aimbot you. Not very good. And speaking of the AN94, I have to say this weapon is extremely wonky and slightly disappointing. I'm obviously going to make my full AN94 weapon setup guide where I go super in-depth to all of the statistics, but when I heard they're bringing the AN94 over from the Portal mode, I was actually pretty interested because they said they rebalanced it. They said they did a bunch of things to the damage and the handling. So I said, okay, well, they're reworking the weapon and then bringing it to the base game. So hopefully they make some massive improvements to it. In order to unlock the AN94, you need to get to level 15 in the event battle pass. Don't worry, you don't have to buy anything. It's free. You just have to play the game and do all the challenges. And longtime players of Battlefield, particularly Battlefield 3, where the AN94 was its most notorious, will know that this weapon is famous for its hyperburst mode, and Battlefield 2042's developers in the 8.6 patch notes said they're basing the whole weapon around this hyperburst functionality. So that got my interest up for sure. Upon unlocking the AN94, you will notice the iron sights are famously still absolutely horrific, and the first thing you should do is farm the attachments for this weapon in the event AI mode, like I told you previously in this video. So once you do that and you have a sight that allows you to actually see what you're shooting at, you will notice that the AN94 feels like shit, in my opinion. It feels horrible. So what do I mean by that? Why do I think this gun feels horrible? So this has specifically to do with the hyperburst functionality, okay? Burst fire weapons in Battlefield 2042 are rare. I believe there's only a couple, the Burstfire Glock, right? The AC-42, and now the AN-94. If there are any more in the game, I can't remember them. Maybe, I guess, Railgun Burstfire, but no one uses that, so we're not even going to talk about it. The problem with the way Burstfire weapons feel in Battlefield 2042 is they just feel like they're off. There's something about the burst timing that feels completely incorrect and terrible. It's either the timing window for you to get the maximum fire rate out of a burstfire weapon is too tight, or it's too loose, or it just feels like it changes dynamically. It does not feel locked in and very, very predictable like they did in Battlefield 3 and even in Battlefield 4. As an example, when using the Burstfire M16A4 in Battlefield 4, that weapon felt phenomenal. You could easily time your clicks to get the highest rate of fire possible out of that weapon, and you could use it in super fast-paced gameplay. It felt super locked in. With the AN-94, it feels like you're fighting against the game half the time, right? And the sad part is, if you switch the AN-94 to full auto, you're basically just getting rid of the entire point of using the weapon. When you switch the AN-94 to full auto, it essentially becomes a shitty version of an AK-24, and the AK-24 is statistically already really bad anyway. So it's a bit of an unfortunate situation when it comes to the AN-94 right now. If the burst fire mode felt phenomenal and really tight and locked in, and you could really time your clicks in a satisfying way to get the highest rate of fire out of the burst fire mode consistently, it would probably be one of the best weapons in the entire game for mid-range. However, it's kind of in a really bad spot right now because it feels horrible to use. It's basically like a variable time to kill weapon. You insta-kill people sometimes, but other times you get locked up in that weird sort of failed burst fire cycle where you aren't getting the maximum fire rate out of the weapon and it's just sort of chugging along. It feels like the weapon is struggling. I will obviously play with the AN-94 much more before I make my full guide. If you would like to see that, be sure to subscribe to the channel. But Battlefield 2042 Update 8.6 has some highlights, like the domination mode. And honestly, I'm just shocked they're still bothering to update Battlefield 2042 at all. I wonder how many people are left working on this game. Do you think it's a crew of like sub 10 that they just have like pump out an update every couple random months? Like, I have no idea. But anyway, if you want to follow the next Battlefield game, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to have a bunch more Delta Force and just FPS content on the channel, with Borderlands 4 coming later this year, Doom the Dark Ages coming later this year, the next Battlefield game. We're going to be eating good in a few months' time, so I'm definitely excited for that. Hope you guys are as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.